I'm just gonna start it, I think. Hello. I did a drawing of shit. Hold on. I'll make that longer. How do you? Hello. I did a drawing of Gorgug and um. Oh shit. What's her name? Oh. Okay. Uh. just Take two. Hi, I have done a drawing of Fantasy High in which Gorga goes on a date with Zelda in a lovely ice cream shop, and she mentions all his friends being loud, and then they are loud, and that's the funny joke of that episode. So I drew it, and I thought it was really cute. So here we go. So this is kind of the first time I've actually been happy with a, an outline, a rough outline that I've done before I've then gone over it. And it's because I just let myself make it look awful, because all I'm trying to do really is do something that I can see and I can understand what it is. For example, look at that. What is that? I don't think anyone, if that was isolated on its own and I gave that to someone, I was like, could you draw something like this for me? They wouldn't then go, oh yes, of course, a really nice plump booth seat. They would think, stop emailing me, is what they would think. So here I go with the outline. I'm genuinely quite happy with this outline, and it's probably the first time I've been happy with an outline. Every time I do a drawing, I can feel one part of the drawing getting better as I practice, and I can feel one part of it getting significantly worse, which we will come on to now as the colour starts coming in. I really wanted it to be like a nice icy cold kind of setting because it's an ice cream shop, but I also wanted it to be a bit more fun, so I added some purples and pinks. Slowly the icy cold becomes the lesser colour, and it stops really existing. This is actually the first time I ever did a dark outside reflection in a window. I have absolutely no clue how it happens or works, and eventually I decided to stop trying to make it complicated. I kept trying to like smudge it and shit over here, and it looked awful. And I just thought, oh, I don't care. And you work on something so long that when you come back to it, you think, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was while I was creating it. Again, my outlines are probably the vaguest garbage you could ever see, and I'm really happy with it because all it really is doing is making me confident in the drawing before I actually properly draw it, which is kind of half of drawing is just gaining confidence in yourself. Oh wow, that's so beautiful. I'm gonna reward myself with a bite of my bacon sandwich. Oh no no. Okay, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Um, they're all doing the vague things that they said they were doing. Sorry, I'm gonna swallow this. I'm gonna swallow this bacon sandwich. So Gorgug was really easy to draw because he was just going to sit. I knew exactly how he was going to sit, but the other characters I had to figure out where they were first before I actually started doing a proper outline of them. I've put them in the positions that they were at in the actual dialogue. So this is where Fabian laughs, Riz is crying for his father, and Fig is playing the guitar. And I didn't know I was going to put Zelda in it. But then it worked out that she actually fit in, and it was I was really glad because I didn't want it to just be Gorgug staring off into space. And so I lowered the opacity of the underlying layers and then traced over it. I really like Gorgug's little tiny hands. Here comes Riz. Basically, all the characters look pretty much exactly like their actors. It's because I have no imagination, and also I just couldn't like it, I don't think that there is anything else that looks more like the characters than the actual actors do. With the coloring here with the characters, I'm doing very basic coloring with only slight shading where there would be like under the neck, under hair, in the ears, that kind of thing, because the shading's going to really come when I actually put more shading into the actual room. I sound like I actually know what I'm talking about now, but I promise I don't. The more you can make it all look cohesive and the color and the lighting makes sense in the whole piece, more set into the drawing the characters will look. Here goes Fitz. Oh, fuck it. What's her name? Oh, I'm not. Fig, Jesus Christ. Redo Fig's hair, put her hair on the other side of her face because I just really just couldn't figure out that. Amazing boots. Here come their clothes. Here comes Gorgug's beautiful little face. I gave him this I gave him a salmon coloured hoodie, even though I don't believe his character would, because that made him look a bit more like my friend. Do I have a photo of him? Yes, I do. This guy. I'll blur out everything else. But it's that guy, and he has a pink hoodie, and I thought it looked a bit like him. Not enough, but just a bit. I mean, he doesn't have green skin, but that's... Anyway, I brought back the colours, I moved the lampshade in front of Gorgug's head, and then, at about this point, I put a full black layer on top of the whole drawing. Then I moved it just below the characters and made the opacity about 50%, and then started rubbing out the bits that I wanted to be in light, which I immediately regretted. I shouldn't have done it in black because that makes the image so grey, because you just put grey on top of it, obviously. But I fix that at the end, and I'm just accenting bits where the light would naturally fall from the actual lights themselves. Here I am doing a little disco dance to try and figure out how to colour it and make it look a bit nicer, and I settled on pink, which is a far cry away from the original cold blue look. Drawings never end up the way I want them to, so it's fine. And yeah, it still looks incredible. Wow. I took this very pink layer. I took the whole image, saved it as a JPEG, and then put it on top of this much more grey image, and then I rubbed out the, if you can see, I rubbed out the wall area. So it was a lot more pink, but it didn't look like there was just a pink wash over it. It looked like there was a mood lighting. And there it is. There is a picture of Gorgug and Zelda on their very peaceful ice cream date. Yeah. I'm gonna start watching Unsleeping City. Because it's the city that never sleeps. Because it's set in New York. Wow. Brennan, you absolute genius. Okay. Thank you for watching. And listening. Bye.